Hello dear students, myself Deepali Nigam, Assistant Professor, Department of Physical Education, Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Kidwai Nagar, Kanpur. Today I will talk about the history and development of physical education in India. As you know, physical activity was the first mode of communication. It was also a means of expression as human beings evolved culturally, emotionally, and socially. Physical activity was also involved. As you can see in the pictures, this evolution of human life started with the movement. Human beings have been very active and creative by nature, and physical activity has been the part of their life all along since evolution. For primitive man, you can see in the picture, for primitive man, search for food and shelter was the first activity, as you can see in this picture. This first physical activity was needed by his instinct for survival. In the next slide, we will learn about the phases of history development of history in physical education. The history of physical education can be studied along with the classification of various periods of Indian political history, which is divided into the following periods. Indus Valley Civilization period, that is from 3250 BC to 2500 BC. The second period is Vedic period, that was from 2500 BC to 1000 BC, and the third one epic period, that was from 1000 BC to 600 BC, and then after that early Hindu period 600 BC to 320 BC, later Hindu period 320 AD to 1000 AD. There the BC means before Christ and the AD means ante-meridian, and then we will go medieval period, that is from 1000 AD to 1757 AD, and British period, AD means Anno Domini, British period till 1947, and post-independent period it's from 1947 onward. Then we will go for further slide. In this slide, we will learn about Indus Valley Civilization period, that is from 3250 BC to 2500 BC. During this age, the objective of physical exercise was achieved through a daily routine of work, game, sports, and amusement. Their favorite recreation were dancing, swimming, marble balls, and animal fighting, that you can see in this picture. Dancing, particularly community dancing, was a favorite recreation of pre-Vedic people, as it appears from a bronze dancing girl from Mohenjo-daro in the National Museum in New Delhi. That picture is showing in the first dancing, under the dancing heading. You can see this picture. Then second one, the most important and interesting things during this Indus Valley civilization at Mohenjo-daro was a great bath, which was similar to modern swimming pool. Today you can see the swimming pool just like that picture. And third one is marble balls. Marble balls and dice were used for games, and most probably dices were used along with board games. Two incomplete specimens of board games have been found there in that Indus Valley civilization. In this fourth picture, you can see this animal fighting picture. Animal fighting was another part-time during this part-time recreational activity during this civilization, and boxing was also in practice, as evident from seal found in that Indus Valley civilization period. Now in this next slide, we will learn about Vedic period. Vedic period that was from 2500 BC to 1000 BC. In this first picture, you can see the Surya Namaskar position. The Surya Namaskar, the origin of which dates back to Vedic period, was performed more as a religious duty than today a mere physical exercise or training. Then second number is military training. Military training was also popular during this period because Aryans were engaged in overpowering non-Aryans and stabilizing their supremacy as it demanded physical strength, vigor and martial skills. They were involved in hand wrestling, use of bow and arrow, dagger fight, sword fight, mace fight, hurling and the discus and spear. Horse riding, you can see this in third picture, horse riding, chariot racing, hunting, elephant riding and boxing were also needed in battle. In that fourth picture, you can see the hunting picture. Hunting as a sport was also prevalent that time. Music and dancing was also a well-known pastime activity that time. Fights, you can see in this picture fights with the fights were organized in the fair and festival for amusement. Birds and animal fighting was also popular that time. Great emphasis was placed on the culture of physical strength during the Vedic period. Physical strength was emphasized greater than academic learning. In this last picture, you can see yoga picture, and practice of yoga was recommended for the development of spiritual health. In the next slide, we will learn epic period, about epic period that was from 1000 BC to 600 BC. The exploits of the Indians of this period can be gathered from the Ramayana and Mahabharata, which were composed during this period. Both epics reveal that this period was a period of great turmoil and wars, as you can see in the Ramayana and Mahabharata. Dicing and chess were popular games that time. The game of chess was in fact the invention of some Hindus, and this country is considered the original home of this game, which spread throughout the world, ancient world, especially ancient world. Now, physical education is one of the compulsory items that time. Archery, javelin throwing and sword fighting, club fighting, wrestling, horse riding and chariot racing have been elaborately described in these books. There were no separate teacher for physical education, but the knowledge of arms and armaments was given by the same teachers who were well versed in scriptural studies too. Gurukuls. Gurukuls, you know that, Guru and Shishya Parampara. There used to be Gurukul, they were used to be Gurukuls where people lived in a celebrate life up to the age of 25 years and learned all the physical activities along with the mental education. The name of such warriors of this period, very well known names are there: Ram, Lakshman, Ravan, Meghnath, Bhim, Arjun, Kama, Bhishma, Drona, etc. become immortal for their valor.